Well, hello everyone, hello. I've got this, which I've spent the last week learning how to operate. The 1010music Bitbox Mark 1. It's the original Bitbox. They recently released the Mark 2, which has a much more powerful processor, but because of that, the old stock of original Bitbox, I was able to get one at a pretty good deal. So I did. I resisted this for a long time because I'm a real stickler for knobs, and this has a screen, and I thought it would just be too computery to have in my rack, but this is something I'm going to have to compromise on, because there are things that I want to do with sampling that you just need a graphic interface in order to do. I still have the STS. I put it in this pod for now. I might move some things around and put it back in here somewhere. We'll see. They have very different approaches to how they handle samples. Recording, I think, is better implemented in a way. Synchronizing to an external clock is easier using the STS, but once you get synchronized, the Bitbox can do some amazing things. It will time stretch your drum loops and sync them to whatever tempo you feed it, which I think is amazing. But anyway, what you're hearing right now is a little buzzing that I played on the Rucci human resistance oscillator. And there was a very elaborate percussion patch, which you're not going to get to see because I already took it apart. But it used the Jena as a drum trigger generator, and I made some drum loops and recorded them, and this is... And you can assign these to choke groups or exclusive groups, so that I have it set up so that only one of these three loops will be playing at any given time, and they automatically queue up so that they start on beat 1, and there is no perceptible gap between them. And the buzz is being triggered by a clock division of a grids channel. I'm using grids to control events rather than play drums in this particular patch. One of the events, let's see, let me back to my first drum loop. Foldy bass is a bass line that I played once again using Jena. And it's a 2-bar sequence that I have divided up into slices. So each note is a slice, and they're being triggered by grids. And I'm using the Bastel OMG over here as a mute switch. I have a little chord hit that I recorded using the 4MS ensemble. That's that. And I have a sample of me saying a familiar phrase. And that's also chopped up into slices, which is being triggered by a grids channel that's being occasionally interrupted because I'm feeding it through a switch to make it fire less than it would. And I have yet another sequence running on the dual parallel going through the Jena. I'm going to turn off that sample because me talking over me is getting annoying. But the Jena setup, and it's playing a sequence from sequence 8 and enveloping it so that it comes in and out occasionally. Something like that. This is that's my learning patch. And yeah, the biggest challenge was at first was get it to sync up to my system clock, because there is a clock input, yeah, but there isn't a reset input. And so I'm like, how do you get this to lock to beat 1? And how do you get it to that there isn't like a beat 1 reset output? So I was struggling for a way to get this thing synced up. There may be some kind of method that I overlooked. I read the manual, but maybe I missed that page. What I ended up doing was just using this as a manual reset and plugging it into everything, and then listening to a drum beat coming from here and smacking that when beat 1 came along, which is it's imprecise, but it's close enough that it works. And I may use the STS to record samples and then move them over to the Bitbox, because this thing will start and stop recording with a trigger, and you can get real precise that way. And it seems like an oversight with the Bitbox that they didn't think about that. And there's no, like, this has an end of sample trigger output. Something like that would have been mighty useful, but that's my only complaint. Everything else the Bitbox does, it seems pretty cool. And there's a granular mode in it that I haven't even explored yet. So anyway, that's my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll briefly mention the Patreon, the Bandcamp, the Ko-fi, which helped me buy this. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time.